Carl Summer, president of Reliable EDM, has a wealth of machining experience. Having worked as a machinist, tool and die maker, foreman, tool designer, and operations manager, Carl now shares with you from his wealth of experience.
I like to demonstrate some of the capabilities of YEDM. We have cut thousands and thousands of parts. And here are a few samples to give you a little bit of an idea of some of the things we can do. Here's an eagle that was cut out in the Texas out of this piece of aluminum over here. And this is one of our show pieces. We got our name, Reliable EDM, here. And here are some tall pieces that we cut out, which I'll be talking about a little bit later. And here's an interesting part. You probably know what this is. This is a piece of tungsten carbide that has been silver soldered onto this piece of metal. And this is a tool bit. And tungsten carbide is one of the hardest metals known to man. And YEDM can cut carbide. Here's another piece of carbide that was cut out. This is as you can see, there's the kerf that was created by the wire, and this is tungsten carbide. And also can cut aluminum. This is aluminum. And some of these are hardened tool steel, like this piece over here. Any kind of material, so long as it conducts electricity, YEDM can cut. Now, I'd like to demonstrate a little bit of this piece over here. This is our show piece that we have created. You can see our name on Reliable EDM, and we have a little show display out there. We want to advertise our company a little bit. And you can see this eagle. This eagle was EDM'd out of that piece. And since we're located in Texas, and Houston is right down here, so we put the R in there, and this comes out of here. And this is what we did to show a little bit of the capabilities of it. Notice the bottom. Notice that the bottom is straight. And notice the top is curved. And that's a taper cut that we did on this here part. We like to show you how this was made. And also notice we skim cut this here, and you'll see the spark going across the whole part as we're skimming this here part. I'm going to have my son Steve, who is a mechanical engineer, and he's been with this company since the day we started in 1986. So he's an expert in YEDM and RAM EDM and small hole EDM. And I'm going to let him explain taper cutting.
One of the advantages of YEDMing is the ability to create tapered parts. And how we do that is the upper head of a YEDM machine, you can program it to move independently from the bottom head. And so by doing so, you can program, as you see here, this shape. It's kind of this U-shaped extrusion die, and it transformed into just a diameter. And all this detail is done with the programming the top plane, and then you transition it to this diameter at the bottom. Unfortunately, if you were to cut this out of one slug, just drill a hole and just cut this out, since this end is wider than this hole, you can't pull the slug out. So this slug was taken out in 5 different sections, and it's glued back together just to kind of see how the solid would look like, had it been able to been removed at one time. This is another sample we have here of tapered cutting, where this shape here, again, we have a diameter on the back, and this little shape here on the top. And then after we dropped this slug out, then we came back through the cavity and cut a reverse taper. It's kind of a little oval shape, and this slug puts together like that, and this is what they wanted cut out. So you kind of got 2 tapers in the same part.
I'd like to show a few other pieces of taper cutting. Here's a part that was cut that is 45 degrees tapered. Here is the Statue of Liberty. Another side is the cross. And this was cut out of one piece of tool steel. And the problem with this, again, you cannot pull a part out. So we had to split the section, we had to sectionalize it in order to get this piece out. It will cut in one cut, but it can't be removed. There's another interesting piece. This is a 1, and this is a 2. Here's the last piece on taper cutting, like to show you. This is, as you can see, is taper cut. This comes out. And there's that Texas again with the R in here. And I'd like to say something about being down here in Houston. Now, I come from New York City, as I worked as a tool and die maker up there. But the precision work that we do down here, and we do tremendous amount of work for the oil field industry. And they drill in water up to 10,000 feet and 6 miles deep. And sometimes they go down and then they twist what they call horizontal drilling. They drill sideways. They go down and then they make like an L, searching for oil. This is very sophisticated work that's being done with the oil field industry. And we get a lot of this kind of work. It's very unique. And we do a lot of tall parts because of that. And before we go into the tall parts, which I'm going to show you, I want you to take a look and see the kind of surface finish we can do with wire EDM. And that's being done with repeated skim cuts. I'm going to take a flashlight and shine it on the Texas over here so you can see the surface finish that's possible with wire EDM. In the next video, we're going to look at some other capabilities of wire EDM and look at parts that were cut up to 40 inches tall.
Located in the heart of the high-tech energy capital of the world, Reliable has the largest EDM job shop capabilities in North America, specializing nationwide in wire, RAM, and small hole EDM. Our commitment to our customers and our passion for technology has made us the EDM specialists.